Audio Jungle.
Hello everybody, Badraven here. Today in the Andrew's Arcade of the Badraven's Nest. I went and watched a movie today, me and Andrew did, and he didn't want to do a review, so it's just me today. The Badraven is going to review Annabelle Creation. Just watched it, seen some reviews already on the computer about it, so I wasn't really expecting anything, not really looking for anything. I just wanted to watch a good scary movie, because there's not many scary movies out right now, and I know we're going to be probably inundated with a bunch of them here before Halloween. So this was the first little test of what's available from the major companies. This movie was directed by David F. Sandberg. He directed the Lights Out movie last year, and I liked it. I mean, it wasn't super scary, but it had some pretty neat scenes in it. So I mean, I got the movie for Black Friday, put it in my collection, so I liked it enough to do that. I don't know if I would have paid like $20 or $30 for that movie. But getting back to the review I've got here, I watched this today at the Corbin Cinema at Tri-County. I wanted to, like I said, I hadn't seen a movie since War of the Planet of the Apes at the movie theater. I told Andrew I was itching to go see something, and this just happened to be what I was looking for. I didn't see anything else I really was dying to see. The Dark Tower, I hadn't read any of the books, which I know it's not supposed to be anything like the book, so I guess it wouldn't matter, but wasn't in the mood for that. I was in the mood for something scary. So anyway, the director, I told you his name, and then we have Stephanie Sigmund as Sister Charlotte, Miranda Otto for Esther Mullins, which was the mother, and Lula Wilson as Linda. Anthony, I can't pronounce the last word, his last name, so I'll put it up here. He played Samuel Mullins, the dad, and Talithia Bateman played Janice. That's the main characters. The little girls were Lula Wilson and Talitha Bateman, and they did a reasonably good job since they had to really carry the movie, because that was basically centered around them. There was a group of kids, in there, but they were the main stars. The movie is set back. It's supposed to be like a prequel to show how Annabelle was created. Hence the name Annabelle Creation. They set up the father, the Mullins family, and they show the little girl Annabelle. I guess she's probably 6 or 7 years old supposed to be in this movie. Tell more about her, and they show the family dynamic of the mother and the daughter and the father, and it's a real loving family. They show that at the very beginning, and it really conveys that. It's well shot movie. Looks really good on the screen. The characterizations were really well done. They show the family interaction. They're church-going people. It shows them, and something tragic happens, and the little girl's killed. Annabelle's killed. And it shows that it jumps forward in time to 12 years, and it shows this is going to be a spoiler-free. I mean, this is just a basic setup. You probably saw it there in the trailers. So I won't go into anything real specific, but it jumps ahead 12 years, and they show a group of children, like from an orphanage. Stephanie Sigmund, character playing Sister Charlotte, she's bringing them in a bus, or being driven there in a bus, and they're taking all these kids that are up there to spend time at that house where Annabelle's family lives. Seems that the mother and the father of Annabelle want to open up the house to young kids, because they feel like they still have love and stuff to offer for these kids that need a helping hand and a place to live. So they are welcomed in, but the mother is not seen much at the beginning of the movie. They just say she's had an accident somewhere, and then she's not able to get around, so that she's pretty much left in a room to ring a bell to get any kind of help from the nun or her husband. So the husband acts really strange toward the kids being there. They had agreed for them to stay. As the kids move into this house, and it's set in a a very rural area, farm area there off to itself. Plus, it's a horror film. You got to have seclusion from everybody to be able to have all this stuff take place. So this is no different. It adds that sense of atmosphere around that. The little girls, like I said, they carry the show on their shoulders, and I was generally liked the way the director did this. But I saw a lot of traits from Lights Out in this. He likes which it's not a exclusive thing to horror films that the lights flicker a lot, but when you come out with a movie called Lights Out, and there's flickering lights in this one too, and a lot of dark scenes, which is what a scary movie is. I understand, but it has it throughout the film. It starts out really slow and tries to build the characters of the little girls and the parents and the sister, and they have a big thing in there. They're going to have another prequel to The Conjuring, or maybe it's not a prequel, called The Nun from Conjuring Part 2 is introduced. They've kind of allude to her in this movie to open up that avenue for another, I guess, third universe, the Conjuring universe. We got to have another universe. Build that a little bit. They talk about the little girl. The little girl starts to be seen by the kids, and it's real subtle. The doll starts out with the doll, and there's some generally kind of uneasy scenes in there that I thought were well done. But then when they would do a well done scene, scary part, then they would do something just a little more to kind of ruin it for me. I mean, it'd be kind of spooky what you would see, and then all of a sudden they would add more to it, and it would take the spook away from me. And it was like I didn't get to really enjoy how he was setting it up. He was setting it up very well. They still have the jump scares. They had like 10 or 20 jump scares in there throughout the movie, which was no big deal. I'm not a big hater of jump scares. I like those, and if done right, and most of them were done right. It just, they had a lot after midway through the movie. It took about midway through the movie before you really started to get into the meat of the movie, I call it. They tried their best to build character development, in which they had more than most in horror films. Most horror films, you don't get to know them before they get slaughtered. And they did spend a lot of time with the story, and I commend them on that. But with me, I think it falls apart is, I don't know if they just don't know how to make scary movies anymore. It's just like they have chances to be able to really knock home things, and it just kind of fizzles for me. I know other reviewers were very pleasantly surprised. I mean, I was surprised it was that well done for probably the budget and everything that's situated with this movie, but it just didn't have, for me, now this is just me, it wasn't really that scary of a movie. And I can say I've seen a lot of scary movies. That's probably why it didn't affect me that way. The kid element was all right. I think they did a commendable job with this movie with what they had as far as the story goes. And they did give her an origin, Annabelle, a decent origin story. And I heard it's a lot better than the first Annabelle movie, which I had not watched. I didn't really have any kind of desire to see this one. Just wanted to watch something that was scary. So I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't a horrible movie and wasn't like Bye Bye Man or something. But it still wasn't enough for me to say, oh, great, run out and see it. Rent it on Blu-ray, or at Redbox, or see it on Netflix. That's just as fine. I mean, if you're really easily scared, and there was people in there in the audience like, oh, screaming and everything, and there was some parts that deserved that, but it wasn't as nearly as scary as they were, the people were putting on. But there was a lot of women, and I saw a lot of children in there, so that really shocked me. It's up to you whether you want to go to pay your money for this movie. You won't hurt you with not seeing it on the big screen if you want to wait. But I would say if I was rating this movie, I would probably give it a 6. It was just all right. It was just, a lot of movies lately I've been reviewing are just all right. They're nothing special, but they're just all right. I wouldn't, if I was wanting to watch something kind of creepy on Halloween, I guess I would put it in there. But it's even supposed to be the really gruesome scenes. I've seen a lot more gruesome scenes than that, and it might be because of my past as far as liking horror films. But I just can't get past this, a 6 for me. Leave a comment whether you've watched it or not. I know I'm a little late to the party. This is the second weekend, or no, it might be the first weekend it's out. I was thinking of Dark Tower, I guess. This is the first weekend that Annabelle's been out. There's a lot of reviews already out there, but tell me what you thought if you watched it, if you were planning on seeing it. I don't want to knock you out of going to see it. I just saying it wasn't very scary for me. But it was a well-made movie as far as put together right. Had a good decent story, and some decent scares, but nothing major. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, and please hit that like button, and please check out all the videos you can on my channel. I really appreciate every view that we get from you. And always remember, the Badraven is your friend, and we want you to watch really, really good movies, so we're here to give you good reviews. So we're going to let you go, and we'll talk to you later, and goodbye.